Alright, so today we're going to subtract polynomials. Up to this point we've only added polynomials. Okay, in today's lesson we're going to learn that if we have a polynomial minus a polynomial, whether it's a trinomial, binomial, monomial, we're going to learn how to subtract it. Okay, so our first example is 6x minus 4 minus 2x minus 1. Now, the first thing we talked about is when you have a minus outside the parentheses, you have to change the sign of everything inside the parentheses and then make this a plus. Okay? So we're going to rewrite our problem 6x minus 4, and instead of minus we put a what? Plus. And then we change the sign of everything. 2x is positive, so we make it negative 2x. This is a minus, so we make it a plus 1. You have changed the sign of everything inside the parentheses. Now you just do what it says, you add it. 6x plus negative 2x is 4x. Because 6 plus negative 2 is 4. Negative 4 plus positive 1 is negative 3. So our final answer is 4x minus 3. You need to understand that minus 3 and negative 3 are the same thing. Okay? And you say, well, I don't see why. Well, if I leave, change opposite, what is 3? Negative. Or I could have just done 4x minus 3. A lot of times y'all ask, is this a minus or a negative? They're the same thing. You understand? Now, this is a very similar problem to the one we just got done doing, except for instead of it being two binomials, it's two trinomials. Okay? So like we did before, we're going to rewrite this down here, 3x squared minus 2x minus 1, and instead of minus, we're going to what? Plus. We're going to add it, but in order for us to add it, we have to change the sign of everything inside. Why? Because there's a minus outside. You see that? So positive 5x squared becomes what?
Negative 5x squared.
Negative 5x squared. Minus 3x becomes plus 3x. Plus 4 becomes minus 4. Okay? Now, so all we did there was distribute the negative to everything or change the sign of everything. It's the same, means the same thing. Now, 3x squared plus negative 5x squared is negative 2x squared. And that's because 3 plus negative 5 is negative 2. Now, negative 2x plus 3x is positive 1x. And negative 1 plus negative 4 is minus 5. So your final answer is negative 2x squared plus 1x minus 5. And you just subtracted a trinomial minus a trinomial. Now this is similar to all the others we've done so far. We want this minus this. Okay, so let's rewrite it. 5t squared plus 55. Okay, and instead of minus, what do I put?
Plus.
Plus. And what am I adding it to?
4t squared.
No.
Negative 4t.
Negative 4t squared. Remember, if you're going to change this to, if you're going to change this to a positive, you have to change the sign of everything inside. Okay? Minus what? 60t. Okay, now you just do what it says. 5t squared minus 4t squared is 1t squared. 55t minus 60t is what? Negative 5t. So you just subtracted the two binomials and you get 1t squared minus 5t by subtracting binomials. To rewrite our new problem, was to write it down out of the book. Step 2 is to write the problem, rewrite it with changing this to a plus and changing the sign of everything in the parentheses. So I've got 4p squared minus 3p plus 1. And instead of a minus here, what do I put? A plus. And then I change this positive 2p to a what? Negative 2p squared. And then I change this minus sign to a what? Plus, and then I write 2p. Okay? So I change this from positive to negative, and this from minus to plus. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, from here, some of you added 4p squared plus negative 2p, and that was right, you got 2p squared. But then some of y'all said negative 3p plus 2p was just minus 1. It's not just minus 1, it's minus 1 what? P. You don't include that p, it's all wrong. And then you just bring your 1 down, plus 1. So this is your final answer. Okay? We're subtracting polynomials. That means monomials, binomials, trinomials. So today, we learned how to subtract a trinomial minus a trinomial, or a binomial minus a binomial. 4x plus negative 2x, 4 plus negative 2 is 2x, and y plus 2y is 3y. Okay? Let's look here. Negative 2x plus 3x is what?
1x.
X. And 3y plus negative 4y is what? Huh?
Negative.
Y.
Negative? Yeah, y. Now we could have said negative 1y. That's the same thing as y, isn't it? So this is your final answer. Okay? So remember, today we learned how to combine polynomials. We learned 2 new vocabulary words. Binomial and trinomial. Okay? R squared. Okay? Now what's a like term of 4r?
3R.
And? So what's 4r plus 3r plus r?
8R.
Now what do I put in the middle?
Plus.
So this is your answer right here.
8r.
Okay?
7.